Hello everybody, my name is Juan. I'm an interpreter at the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center. I'm down here at Fort Mandan, and one thing I've noticed with us giving us lots of tours, a lot of people haven't experienced the sight of firing off one of these muzzle loaders. So I decided here today to give you guys a quick little demonstration on one of our muzzle loaders here and maybe teach you guys something along the way. What we have here today is our 1803 Harpers Ferry rifle. We'll be firing this off today. Now, this is one of the weapons we believe the Lewis and Clark expedition would have had. One of the weapons that we believe they commissioned some of the guys at Harpers Ferry to create for them. We're not exactly sure if they did for sure have some of these 1803 Harpers Ferry rifles, but just for demonstration's sake, we're going to go ahead and fire this off today. So this is a flintlock weapon, and you can tell it's a flintlock by this stone right here. So the stone is actually gonna be what throws the spark into what's called the pan here, and the powder in the pan's gonna ignite. It's gonna work its way into the barrel by a little peephole that's on the side here, and then from there it's gonna ignite all the powder in the inside of the barrel and project your bullet out the front of the muzzle. So this is one of the very rudimentary weapons that they would have had back in 1803 and even earlier. Of course, this would have been pretty good technology back in those days. All right, everybody, we're going to start here by loading the muzzle of this thing. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take our measure here. We're going to measure out to about 90 grains of powder. We'll take our powder horn, which of course is very iconic, and just about everybody's going to recognize the powder horn, and we dump some powder from our powder horn into our little measure here. Dump this down the barrel. We'll dig out a wad. And now what we have to do is something called wetting the wad. So I'm just going to take this wad and I'm going to pop it into my mouth for a second. All right, now this is the time where we'd usually put the wad in and you drop the ball over on top of that, but we're not going to use a ball today. We're just going to go ahead and fire without a ball. So we go ahead and pack all that stuff down in there with our ramrod. All right, now the barrel is basically primed and ready to be fired, but we still have to load the pan. And down here we have the pan. You have your stones. So with this rifle, we're going to use something a little different than that powder. We're going to use a finer powder here. We'll fill up our pan here. So now we're going to go ahead. We're ready to fire. So I'm going to put this into full cock there, and then I'm going to let her go. And that's how you basically fire off one of these rifles that Lewis and Clark may have had on the expedition.